you also raised with what I called bread and Disney? Because if the answer is yes, then you might enjoy this novel, Tangled Up in You. It's a standalone novel who is part of a series called Meant to Be. And it's all the series itself basically focused on Disney princess, their movies, and basically transpose their movie in a modern setting, in a modern society, and with the character who might look a bit different than what we are used to from the princess movies. Tangled Up in You, inspired by Tangled, obviously, follows basically the story of Ren, which is basically our Rapunzel, and this guy, Fitz. You might guess who he is, or who is supposed to be in this modern setting. Ren over here is a young girl who is finally going to university and finally studying outside of her home. She has always been super protected by her parents. They basically lived in this farm, and she's super bright. And when I say super bright, I mean that she literally invented everything that they used at the farm. Almost everything. But everything. Let's give that woman credit, okay? She was great. And she was raised at the farm where she read books and pretty much did all of the job on her own and took care of the farm with her parents. But then she was admitted at Corona College, and she started to study at Corona College where she met Fitz. Now, a couple of things happened in this book, at the beginning of this book. Not exactly the first chapter, but at the beginning of the book. Things that sort of forced Ren and Fitz to travel together and to help Ren discover a couple of things about her past and her life. You know, a lot like Tangled. There are many things, if you read Tangled Up in You, that will remind you of the movie. Like, this is not just something that took a couple of characters and, took the title and just run with it. No, there's so much care to make sure that this book will still resonate with people that love Disney and Rapunzel and her story. And it's such a great reading. It's something you will also finish super quick, in my opinion, because like every chapter is just so easy to read and so amazing and comfortable and easy and quick and simple and everything that you will finish everything immediately. Again, I love this book and I cannot put it down. I'm fairly sure that I did. I'm fairly sure that I was awake the entire night, probably, just to read it. Ren and Fix are exactly how you would imagine them, and they are meant for each other and to be you. Pun intended. There are scenes from the movie that you will find in the book, including the obviously adapted but scene where Rapunzel and Fitz, Ren and Fitz, goes into this sort of not restaurant but like mini bar, and they encounter a few people who Fitz is not trusting at all. But Ren somehow managed to convince them to help them and go forward with their adventure. Does it ring a bell? Does it tell you anything? Now, we do not have a Mother Gothel here. We have something similar to Mother Gothel, which I think is also another great addiction to the story. I mean, I obviously kinda know how it's going to end, especially considering what Ren discovers at the beginning of the story, but at the same time, the fact that we have both Mom and Dad and not only Mother Gothel made me think about that it could be a couple of secrets. Actually, a couple of oops, wasn't expecting that. And the story's been done great, and I've loved it. Again, I'm saying that I love them so many times, but it is true. Plus, I don't think you can hate this story and this book if you, again, were raised like me with Disney movies. Because everything that they do is just going to be the right decision. Doesn't matter, okay? If they bring Rapunzel on a book, we are going to love the book. That's my rule. If they bring Ariel in a book, we are going to love the book. And again, it's one of the reading that I'm expecting to do this year. Any books Disney inspired, we are going to love the book despite of the story. Because it's Disney, because it's Rapunzel, and in this case, it was done so amazingly. It was done greatly. It was just such a happy reading. that you can do otherwise. Also, if you remember, Rapunzel had this kind of memories of her as a child, you know, the lantern. How can we transpose the lantern in this book without making an exact copy of this story that we already know from Disney? Well, Christina Loren here did it, and she was again great, and I loved the decision. And it's also sort of representation of how sometimes easy it is to certain things happen in life. And that breaks my heart as someone who has a little niece, someone who has a child at home. That breaks my heart. The moment I was reading that scene, my heart was breaking. I was like, no, no, because it is that easy for some stuff to happen. And I was so stressed for it. Because I mean, that's the reason why I normally, if I go out with my niece, I keep her on a leash, literally. Because that's how scary it is. So when you read this book, you both read it if you are like me as Ren, but you will also read it as an adult with a child at home and just thinking about everything that this child goes through. The ending is also kind of poetic in a way. It is obvious, I would say, but I was really happy and in a way emotional, which by the way, say emotional makes you think like it's some kind of tragic. It's not. But again, I'm such a Disney lover that this entire book just made me emotional. I was loving every bit, and I would totally advise you to read it if you can, because you absolutely should, and it's absolutely a reading that I would ask you to do in 2025. 2025, by the way. Happy New Year! So everyone, hope you have a happy reading, and let me know what you think about the book if you already read about it.